Hey African Queen Mo channel subscribers, viewers and friends, how are you? Welcome to African Queen Mo channel, where we live to enjoy and inspire and excite and inform. How about that? How are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in with another show. Yeah, that's me. And today I'm taking a walk. It's been raining, that's why I'm wearing a raincoat. And so I'm here in the park. Yep, one of the beautiful things about this place is the park. Oh my god, it's so pretty. So basically today I wanted us to talk about some of the things that are a little bit concerning about our lives currently. I'm sure all of us, should I say many of us, are carrying a lot of stress. And the reason we're carrying the stress is because we're living in a very uncertain environment. I don't know whether I've ever experienced this level of uncertainty in my life. Okay, and I've lived 5 decades plus. So for me, this is kind of like really shocking, to live this kind of environment, to live this kind of life where you can never really plan for anything because you don't know what's going to be happening next. Yeah, guys? Do any of you feel this way? Do any of you worry and wonder about what's going on? So living with uncertainty looks like it's going to be the way that we're going to live our lives, We're going to continue to have to live with this situation until we can figure it all out. And I feel somehow that there's a deliberate effort to make sure that we don't even know what's going on. There are people in this world who are happy for us not to be aware of what they're planning. And that means that they cannot be planning anything positive for us. Or what do you think, guys? Yeah? I was planning to walk in this area, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that, because it's a little bit wet and murky, the ground. It's been raining quite a bit over here, and I hear that it's very cold out there in Kenya. I hear it's also very, very hot in some other countries such as Arizona. So the world climate is also unpredictable, unreliable, etc. So because I don't want to pant as I talk to you, I'm going to find a spot to have a chat and just, see whether maybe we can talk. So you guys, us guys who are living out here in the diaspora, us guys who are out in the diaspora, sisi watu wa ng'ambo, pia sisi tuna feel what's going on. At the moment, I'm not really happy about anything to do with politics, and I'm kind of like disappointed, and I was hopeful that after the elections, once people get the person in power that they wanted to get in, everything would go okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that anywhere in the world. I happen to live in the UK, and here, we have a prime minister called Rishi Sunak. All right, he was not voted in, but he was just like put in by the Tory government. So the people of the UK say that they did not elect him. Okay, but after all, if you elect the Tory government into power, what do you expect? They are at liberty to pick the person that they want for the position. Again, the other half of me comes from Kenya, where we also have a government that was elected by the people, although the people also say they did not elect him, that he was put into there through some shoddy means. But the fact is that once you have elected, once you have participated in elections, you can't go back and say now that, this is not the man that we wanted, we didn't expect this. I mean, what is this? I mean, isn't it about looking at character, people's character? It just goes to show that we are very poor judges of character as humans, yeah? And it looks to me like we look at more than character before we decide who it is that we're going to be putting into power. Instead of looking at the important things like character, we're looking at things that are beyond that, such as perhaps influence, perhaps money. How deep are their pockets? How influential are they financially? How well do they speak? How do they look? How intimidating are they? Forgetting that we are going to definitely be, the victims of that intimidation once they come into power, which is a fact, by the way, yeah? If you get a very strong president, somebody who looks really tough, a non-negotiable type of person, how do you expect the person to treat you when they get into power? Do you expect them to actually have any sort of empathy, concern for the public? Do you really expect that? No. So I'm always quite surprised, when I see that we have such different expectations of our leaders once they finally come into power compared to what they have already shown us they are. One of the things that, we're told in life is that once somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Yeah, all of these leaders have had opportunity to deliver in different capacities. And we have seen what kind of people they are. We have seen whether or not they deliver and how they do deliver, if at all they do. How they participate, how they work as a team or not. But it's like we don't want to believe. We want to trust that we know better. That if they just mention the word God, even if the devil just mentions the word God and says that I pray to God and I'm going to supplicate to my God, even if the devil and the demons tell you that they are saved and that they worship God, you will believe them. Because you just want to hear it, but you don't want to what? You don't want to look at their character. You don't want to do the job. You want to be lazy. And now, what do we have? We have a situation where we are led by people who say that they are people of God. But when you look at their actions, far from God, far from godly. So why have I come guns blazing today to talk about politics? It's because all these politics are what's affecting us guys who are living out in the diaspora. The only reason that we're living away from the continent from which we are born or from which we are supposed to be is because the conditions there are not rife. And that's the reason why we even are living in these countries. Otherwise, why would we be living here? Okay, even if we do live in these countries, so for example, some of us were born here. I was, for example, born here in the UK. So for me, this is also my country, but it's equally as disappointing. And I've lived in many countries. I've also lived in America, I've lived in England, I've lived in Kenya. And I can just say that the world has so much opportunity, but because of poor leadership, because of lack of vision, people are perishing. Yeah, just because of lack of vision. This park is so pretty, by the way, guys. One of the lovely things that I love about this place is just nature and things like that. So, anyway, that's a little bit of my little rant. Like I told you, I only rant for a little bit and then I feel good, and then after that, that's my therapy. Then I'm ready to go back home. So anyway, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today, guys, is how do we handle pain? How do we handle loss? How do we handle disappointment in our lives? Some of the disappointment might be because of the politics in your country. Some of the disappointment might be because of the relationships that you're experiencing. And other reasons that you might be disappointed have to do with maybe not being able to achieve the things that you wanted to or you planned to by the time you're a certain age. Maybe you have goals that are unfulfilled and you feel that that will never be done, or you don't even see how to do it. You don't have any clear vision or ability to do it for different reasons, either because you don't have a plan or maybe you don't have the means. And a lot of young people probably feel that they don't have the means. We are each on our individualistic journeys, yeah? Who are we to say that one person's experience in life is more superior to another's just because they have more material things than you do? Maybe they have traveled more, maybe they have more money, maybe they have more friends, maybe they have better looks, maybe they have, better experiences. Maybe they live abroad like me, or maybe they're living a quiet life. Maybe you think that they have a superior life, to you. But that's not true. Everybody's life, has value. Value depends on many things and many factors determine value and quality of life. So just because somebody lives abroad doesn't mean that they are better off, that they are happier, that they are in an advantage position compared to you. Not necessarily. Even if all those opportunities are there in the West, doesn't necessarily mean that you as an individual are taking advantage of those opportunities. Okay? A lot of the time, those opportunities even pass you by because you don't even know how to access them. A lot of people miss out on opportunities because they don't know how to access them. Okay, guys, so let me leave you guys now with a flashback earlier this year that I attended of a wake where Africans from the Ghanaian community were supporting a member of their community who had lost their family member back in Africa. And just helping them to go through the motions, trying to help the lady, consoling her, and coming together to celebrate the life of her mother who had passed away, just to show you how difficult it is for us who live abroad, and also how to manage loss and how to come together to try to minimize the impact of sad news that you receive from home. Hi, African Queen channel viewers, subscribers, lovely to see you. I've missed you a lot. Today I went to a funeral, and there's a lady who lost her mom. So sad. Imagine, by the way, she had not seen her mom for years and years. And then she went to visit her last year in around August. And now it's March, the mother passes away. And I think she was in her 60s. You guys, man, there's nothing harder. The life that people live abroad is not easy, because imagine they were having the funeral back in Ghana, but because she was not able to attend the funeral, she had to have a ceremony here. So they had the prayers, they had a pastor there, she had friends, you're going to see people dancing, holding her. Her husband was dressed in red regalia. She was there looking so sad and so solemn. It really touched me. And I can just imagine how she feels, especially when, let's say, you are in the diaspora and you lose a parent. Like my cousins just lost their mom. I'm telling you, there's nothing harder than losing a loved one when you're far away from home. It's one of the hardest things, people. You need to understand that it's not all roses when you're out in the diaspora. And for those of us who are in the diaspora, what I love most, though, is to see that kind of togetherness, that unity, that love that they were showing to this couple and this lady. It was so touching and so impressive. Back to African tradition, that is when, our African traditions are so strong and so important. They help us to survive. They help us to adapt. They help us to manage the pain and the shocks that people experience. So anyway, today was a very interesting day, and was quite amazing. I mean, just look at the footage. Just look at, what went on.
Royal ladies, why are here? Why are here? Why am I here? Cardiff Royal ladies. Oh, press the grab with Father Granny. Abia Obia. With Father Come.
Funeral, guys, a funeral.
Start me and take my photo. I'm going to dance. Use my phone. Oh, okay, I'll use my own. Use my
The best thing about coming back home from such events is all these lovely goodies. You know, West Africans make these little mini meat pies. We're taught to make Cornish pasties in school. So Cornish pasty are these kind of like meat pies that have meat in them. I don't know, I think these guys make them with fish. Yeah, I think this one probably has fish in it. And you know, look at that. Then you have like donuts, and then you have this suya. It's called suya with some kind of meat. Yeah, stuff. So this is the lovely thing about, you know, these people are so generous, you know, they give you a little bag with goodies. Even at a funeral, Africans will still give you goodies at a funeral. Honestly, God bless them. God bless them. So what did you think, guys? You know, just look at that love. Look at the dancing. Look at, you know, people, you know, trying to force people to kind of like be happy, trying to force people to get out of their depression. This is one way of managing the mental health strains, you know. Everybody coming together to support one another. When you lose a relative, when you lose a loved one, and you're living abroad, it's very important to be part of the community, to be part of the group. I was there with my wonderful friend, the one who actually does my hair most of the time. And yeah, today I changed my hairstyle. Yay! What do you think? Do you like it? After speaking to my hairdresser in Kenya, she told me off. So I decided, hey, I better do something about my hair. And I also bought a new black dress. You know, when we lose our relatives, when we face calamities, when we face difficult times living abroad, it's good to come together. It's good to call people around you so that they can comfort you, because this is what we used to do in our traditional societies, and this is the way to continue. People contributed monies. Whatever you can contribute, you know, people appreciate. They say in Kiswahili, haba na haba hujaza kibaba. Everybody contributes. Even I contributed. I don't know the family, but I contributed. When you go to an African event and you see people are giving, you also give, because that's the way we do things. Even in Africa, we give. The small that you have, the little that you have, you give, because you know that it's going to go towards the funeral expenses. It's going to go towards helping the family to alleviate some of the financial shocks that they're going to experience now, because they've just lost an income earner, they've lost a mother, they've lost a woman who has been upholding a home. It's left a very big gap. So anyway, we wish that family well, but also to celebrate the mom's life and to know that their mom will always live in them spiritually and in their children's lives. Yeah. Okay guys, so that's the end of my vlog for today. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. yeah, please remember to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. And for those of you who have been there with me, thank you very much. Always there as family. Family, family, family. That is it. That is the way to survive as family members and also as our individual selves. Bye.